All right, guys, bang, bang, lunch money time while Wall Street's trying to get rich. Let's just trying to get our lunch money right. I'm here with the beautiful, intelligent Polina Ivailova Marinova
Woo
Pompliano,
woo. Woo woo.
PINP. She's obviously very excited.
I slept 11 hours.
Oh my God. Don't forget the lunch. Jesus. Don't forget that lunch money is now sponsored by BlockFi. BlockFi has 3 products. You can buy and sell crypto. You can take out a US dollar loan against your crypto collateral, or you can use my favorite product as an investor and a user of the product, which is their interest-bearing accounts. You can earn up to 8.6% APY in those interest-bearing accounts. Go check it out, blockfi.com/pomp. blockfi.com/pomp. She got it. 11 hours. Look at that. She remembers the ads. All right. What's up with the first topic?
There is a whale that has been unmasked. So SoftBank Group shares tumbled in Tokyo after reports that the Japanese conglomerate made substantial bets on equity derivatives amid the surge in technology stocks. So basically, Masayoshi Son, is taking over the Nasdaq. Can you tell us?
Well, basically what they're doing is they're using derivatives, right? So if you understand what derivatives are, they're basically, you're not buying the actual stock. You're basically betting on the future price of those stocks,
Is
right?
a derivative different from an option? It's the same thing.
They're an option is a type of derivative.
Oh, I see.
And so if you think about the SoftBank business, they have access to a lot of capital. Literally billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. If you remember, they've got the SoftBank Vision Fund, $100 billion for the private markets. The joke always was that SoftBank could impact private market valuations because they could flood the market with so much capital. But now it looks like they're doing the same thing in the public markets.
They've started a new unit to trade in the public markets.
What does it say that they do?
What do you mean?
The new unit.
Oh, it targets investments of more than 10 billion, perhaps tens of billions, and would use financing structures that would allow the company to avoid showing up in public disclosures of shareholding.
Basically, they're just putting literally tens of billions of dollars into the market. They're doing it where they don't actually have to put it on the annual filings. And on top of all of that, they're using these options and derivatives to specifically speculate in tech stocks, which led this massive bull market. And now they basically got kind of identified as being that whale.
If they don't show up in public disclosures, how were they identified as the whale?
Oh, I mean, there's much. I mean, somebody literally could have leaked it. Somebody that one of their counterparties that they trade with. I mean, there's a whole bunch of ways.
I thought there was a public way to discover this, but I guess not.
Yeah, no, but I do think that it's pretty damn interesting.
Alrighty.
What's next?
Patreon, whose platform lets independent creators, earn money from fans through subscriptions, has raised $90 million in new funding at a valuation of $1.2 billion, and it's planning to use the money to expand internationally and beef up tools for creators. Well, we know you're a big fan of Substack. What about Patreon?
Look, again, anytime that you can help the people pay creators for their content, it's pretty damn cool. I think that what you're seeing is more and more people are realizing that the rise of the creator is a trend that's already been occurring, right? Whether this is on YouTube, whether this is writing, podcasts,
Patreon was
whatever.
One of the pioneers of this, right?
It started 7 years ago.
Yeah.
But the second thing is that there just wasn't a lot of infrastructure in place. So people were using tools that had been created really for small businesses. They weren't kind of creator-specific tools. Patreon was one of the first ones that was kind of creator specific, because ultimately what it does is, in a lot of cases, it allows you to either support without anything extra, like just, hey, I think you're doing a great job, like support. And then also it allows creators to like put things behind, hey, if you're one of my supporters on Patreon, you'll also get ABC.
My problem with Patreon, not that it's a problem, but my thought about Patreon, and the reason I didn't really think about it for my newsletter is, one, I like Substack, but two, the whole idea of gratuity, like that somebody's leaving me a tip for I didn't like that. It's a product, you're paying for it. You know what I mean?
But you can do that on Patreon.
I think now you can. I think it used to be like that, and that just like stayed with
Well, people kind of hack it, right? What they say is like, if you're a supporter of mine on Patreon, you'll get extra things. Like I'll send you extra content, I'll do whatever. Yeah.
I think whereas Substack had the reputation of, I'm paying for this product and I want a subscriber, right?
Yeah. It's just one is very specific use case. One had more flexibility.
But isn't this amazing that today Patreon has more than 200,000 creators on its platform who have collectively earned $2 billion? That's pretty significant and robust.
Yeah, 6 million subscribers, which the company refers to as patrons.
I like this quote. The stigma of the starving artist is going to fade away.
True. Very true. All right, what's next?
Virgin Galactic.
Bang, bang, space.
Okay. Virgin Galactic plans to conduct its next crewed space flight. Do you think Tom Cruise is going to be on it?
No.
On October 22nd. The flight will be the first of two that the space tourism company has planned to complete testing of its Spaceship 2 spacecraft system and should have just 2 test pilots on board. Okay, I mean...
But then the next one will have 4.
Okay.
And if both test flights succeed, then Virgin Galactic expects to fly their founder, Richard Branson, in the first quarter
he always
of
says
next
that. He's
year.
been saying this since 2017. I interviewed Sir Richard Branson once.
Do you think that he's actually going to get on the flight?
He'll get on. I don't think it's going to be in the first quarter of 2021.
Why?
It's not ready.
It's absolutely epic that Richard Branson is claiming he's going to go to space. But it's space tourism. I don't understand, and we can look at this later. How are they actually going to go into space, or are they just talking about going into like the outer part of the atmosphere?
I believe it's the outer atmosphere.
Is it?
Yeah, they just loop.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, right? But basically, that's one of the key things. It's not like they're going to the International Space Station.
No.
Right.
No.
But look, by the way, either way, it's super cool. Like if they actually do have commercial tourism in space, I don't care if you're in the outer atmosphere, you're in real space, wherever, the fact that like an average person could be able to go do this is nuts.
Wait, can I tell my favorite Richard Branson story?
Sure.
Okay, so if you read, I read one of his books, and in it there was an anecdote where he says when he was in school, he was kind of a troublemaker. So one of his teachers told him, you're either going to end up in prison or you're going to end up being a millionaire. And he goes, I ended up neither. I'm a billionaire. Okay. LG. Okay, this is kind of ridiculous. So there's cloth face masks, as we all know. There's a little bit, some of them are a little more elevated, but LG is now showcasing its Puricare wearable air purifier, a consumer electronics and home appliance, at the trade show. But it's basically an advanced air purifier mask that makes most face coverings look ancient by comparison.
So show me the picture.
It has like literally, it's like legit.
It looks like you're Darth Vader.
AC.
It's got like a whole thing that you put on your face, and it's got a filter to it, and it's got some kind of air purifier. So literally, imagine if you took like you ever seen like a gas mask type thing? Looks like a futuristic gas mask that they're essentially trying to sell to people.
It's equipped with a respiratory sensor that detects the cycle and volume of the wearer's breath, and it adjusts the dual 3-speed fans accordingly. This is a little too much.
I mean, if you're in like a super serious situation, sure, sounds great. You'll definitely wish that you had one of these.
That's true.
If you're walking down the street in New York City, you don't
honestly,
really
also
need a
like
mask.
pollution.
Yeah, well, definitely there's places that have high levels of pollution, but like my whole thing has always been, if you're walking outside, not near anybody, probably.
I know, but most dense cities, it's hard to walk without encountering people, right?
True. So I mean, look, it's really interesting now. You're going to see this boom of like not only face masks, but you're going to see a boom of technologically enabled face masks. And so, do we get to a world where everyone's walking around with like gas masks on?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not. But, weirder, stranger things have happened in 2020.
So speaking of weirder things in 2020, so all these like young people are starting businesses in the pandemic that kind of use the pandemic to, to fuel their business.
Benefit.
One such business, a senior at Vassar, had some income from an internship, but it wasn't enough to keep her or her family financially secure. So she started an online tarot reading business. So this tarot reading business, she uses an Etsy shop, and she offers appointments with social distancing. Customers can opt for a taped reading or a live online reading. They ask to know about life, love, and past lives. Tarot reading is a tool to reflect back deep truths about yourself that we already know. Okay, here's
I
my
like
thing.
entrepreneurship. I don't know if I'm into the tarot card reading stuff, but
well, let me tell you. So when I was at Fortune, one of my first articles that I wrote was called Million Dollar Psychics, and it was these like crazy psychics that charged a lot of money, and they charged corporations and whatever. Their businesses boomed during the last
Why?
recession, because of the uncertainty. People wanted to know, what do I do with my money? Should I sell everything? People were there was this one woman who claims that she predicted the financial crisis. Laura Reed, I think is her name, but she's legit.
We're not advertising any tarot readers.
No, we're not. She's legit famous for that. And I called her and asked her what the hell, and she was like, yeah, people were calling me and asking me should I sell my barn? And I was like, I think so. And
if you're calling a tarot card reader to make investment decisions, you probably shouldn't be managing money.
Well, people are, so.
That's absurd.
So they call themselves intuitives, and I think that it's kind of preying on people, in my opinion, because most aren't legitimate. But tarot cards is basically let me tell you about yourself,
My whole thing on all of this, the psychics, all this kind of stuff, is there is no evidence whatsoever that suggests that it is real. And to me, if you want to be a therapist, you have to get a license. I don't think you have to get a license to be a psychic or a tarot card reader.
People have been trying to kind of legitimize this industry or regulate it,
but it's not yet.
It's not.
Yeah, so you should have to go get a license, and that should have super strict things to take out all the con artists and all the nonsense.
Because there are many.
And are there people who can present information from an entertainment standpoint? There's an argument to be made that
I think
the value of religion is simply to give people peace of mind, right? And control populations and do all this stuff, not in a negative way, but just people are uncertain about the future. Therefore, if they are religious, that gives them some level of certainty and makes them less anxiety and all that kind of stuff.
Although I one time in college got a tarot card reading by another student, and I freaked out. She said crazy things, and I was like, oh my God, my life is going to hell. I had anxiety for 2 months. I'm never doing that again. Anyway, it doesn't work. If you're looking for entertainment, but you're an anxious person, don't do it.
You see how her decision-making has improved now that she knows me. But
you have, in New York City, you have been seeing more of those, psychics on the streets doing readings.
But my point is, if their promise is hey, I'll basically calm you down so that you're not, worried about the future, it does the same thing that religion does.
It does.
Okay. But when you start to actually present yourself as, a medical expert, hey, I'm going to tell you whether you should get surgery or not for this medical condition, or I'm going to tell you whether you should sell all of your physical goods and go put your money in gold. Those types of things, it's now you're actually giving advice.
But you know why they won't?
Which is dangerous.
You know why they won't calm you down?
Why?
Because when you go, they want to upsell you, and the way they upsell you is the types of people that go, they say, I'm seeing a dark energy around you. For $200, I can cleanse that. And then they'll see something else and something else.
Are they witches?
Well, it's So.
That's that right there was a kind of, but I don't want to say
no,
yes.
they just try to upsell you. They're entrepreneurs.
What is?
What?
Let's go to the next topic.
So, a majority of young adults in the U.S., roughly, are living with their parents for the first time since the Great Depression.
So majority, meaning over 50% of young adults, how do they categorize? 18 to 29-year-olds in the U.S. are living with their parents. 52% now live with
one or both.
With one or both of their parents.
Up from 47% in February.
All right. That's actually pretty material. It's more than a 10% increase.
Yeah, but 47% in February, where are there so many people living at home?
Huh?
I feel 47% in February was high.
Well, no. This is a trend that's definitely been going on, right? But now what you're seeing is this massive explosion, more than 10% growth since February. I would have actually thought that it could have been higher in the growth since February, but I would not have guessed that the number in February was 47%.
So it has surpassed the previous peak during the Great Depression era.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I
think.
Look, it's definitely a trend. People knew that this was happening. 18 to 29-year-olds are living at home. Get out your mom's basement.
They should have included up to 30. I feel there's a lot of people who move back.
Here's when you turn 30, you move back?
No. I think there's a lot of people in that age range who left the city and moved back with their parents.
Oh, well, that's the other thing too. Is how sustainable is this, right? If they're just counting people who let their lease expire in New York, move back with their family until the end of the year, and then they're coming back to New York,
How do they
okay,
measure
sure. well, they can't yet because they don't know what people are going to do. Maybe they survey them and ask them what they plan on. But definitely that's a little unique.
Anyway, I think, and young adults have been particularly hard hit by this year's pandemic and economic downturn. We've talked about that before because a lot of their jobs are seasonal and like part-time. And
my mom would love if I moved back home.
I'm sure.
My mom would be so happy. It'd be great. She would cook me dinner every night. It would be amazing.
Are you saying I don't cook you dinner every night?
No, I'm just saying. Like, I hang out with my mom for like a week, and then I'd be like, okay, I got to get out of here. and my dogs, oh man, they'd be hype.
All right.
Can you imagine if I hung out with my 2 dogs every day? They'd be ready to chill.
Moving on. I just dropped my phone in the bathtub.
Wait, for what?
It's
a joke. Oh, okay, we're on the jokes.
I just dropped my phone in the bathtub. It's now sinking. You get it.
I get the sinking with a Y and sinking with an I.
And C.
I just don't think it's funny.
I thought it was hilarious.
All right, guys. That's it for Lunch Money. I know. I told you we were going to do it yesterday. We didn't do it. It's my fault. We won't get into it. It was my fault. I woke up.
He didn't have 11 hours of sleep.
And I just said, nah, I'm not doing it today. It's not going to do it. But I'm back today. I woke up today. I said, I'm going to do it today. So here we are. All right, that's it for Lunch Money. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
So weird.
Well, Wall Street's trying to get rich. The rest of us just trying to get our lunch money right. And Polina's sleeping for 11 hours and hitting herself in the forehead. See ya.
Bang, bang. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Lunch Money as much as we did.
And don't forget, Lunch Money is now sponsored by BlockFi, so go check them out. There's a link in the description that you can click on. I'm an investor, a user, and a huge fan. What?
You're a bigger fan of BlockFi than you are of me?
BlockFi is my second favorite thing in the world behind Polina. They've got 3 products. They can give you a US dollar loan. You can earn up to 8.6% interest on an interest-bearing account, or you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies on their crypto exchange. I personally use the interest-bearing account. There's not very many places where you'll find up to 8.6% interest on a deposit in an interest-bearing account. Go do your own research. There's risk associated, but 8.6% is pretty compelling. So click on the link in the description. Say thanks to the folks at BlockFi. Subscribe to our channel. Like the video. Annoy Polina in the comments. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
And be kind to your friends.